go. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining us. And thank you to all of our amazing fans for getting up so early to be here with us. You guys make it really special. Skip Bayless, Stephen A. Smith, Molly Karam here with you.
What's up?
How we doing, boys?
I must say, yesterday's crowd was extremely pro Stephen A. Smith. And you know what? I can live with that because he's the star of the show. Molly's the second star of the show.
Yeah, okay.
That's okay. It's fine with me.
And you're the boss of the show. And you're just the boss. You're the boss behind the scenes.
See? What did I say? What did I say? That's enough. That's enough of that.
You teed it up.
But today, I look around this great crowd that we have, and I see some in metallic blue, which means I am supported by a number of Dallas Cowboy fans, including oh, stop it. Stop it. Yeah. Stop it. Including over my shoulder, Joe from Modesto. Tony Romo Jr. has his number 9 jersey on, which means I actually got a chance today on this show.
Well, I would just like to say, obviously, First Take, being here in the Bay Area because of Super Bowl 50, it's a place for winners.
Yeah.
So there's no reason whatsoever to discuss that pathetic team with their pathetic fan base in Arlington, Texas. They're not even in Dallas. They're in Arlington, Texas. I mean, who cares?
By the way,
all right?
That's why I wondered how Eli Manning was on so many shows yesterday. What was he doing here? Speaking of losers.
He's a 10. He is a 10. Don't you forget it.
I can't ask that question.
How many rings?
He has 2 more rings than Tony Romo will ever have.
Yeah.
That's what he has.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
Thanks to the luckiest pass in the history of the Super Bowl.
And it's the history. It's the year anniversary of that year.
It's Super Bowl week. It's Super Bowl week. It has nothing to do with the Cowboys. Let's move on. Let's go.
All right, let's talk about some winners because we're going to have some that are going to be joining us. Vince Vaughn will be here. Looking forward to that. Along with Cam Newton's father, Cecil Newton, will join us. Another winner, Antonio Brown. And the quarterback guru, George Whitfield, will be in the house. He worked very closely with Cam. Looking forward to his insight as well. But first, during Super Bowl opening night on Monday, a reporter asked the MVP frontrunner if he considers himself to be the LeBron James of the NFL. Here's Cam and King James responding to that comparison. Stephen A. What do you make of all this?
Well, what I make of it is I hope Cam was joking. You know, I hope that, he had a big smile on his face. So, but sometimes he says very serious things with a smile on his face. So it's hard to tell. But I sincerely hope he was joking. Listen, Cam Newton is my MVP. Cam Newton is a superstar. He's elevated his game to superstar status for this particular season. Cam Newton deserves our respect. Cam Newton deserves our love. Cam Newton deserves our adulation because he's been nothing short of phenomenal. But the operative words that I would ask everybody to remember, including Cam Newton, as Super Bowl 50 approaches, is this season. Cam Newton, this is his 5th year. Cam Newton passed for 4,051 yards as a rookie. And every single year since then, he has dissipated. It was 38.69 the second year, 33.79 the third year, 31.27 last year, before he had a somewhat breakout year, a big-time breakout year, rather, this year. He actually regressed. In 5 years, he's had 2 winning seasons. He's had 12-4 in 2013 and 15-1 this year. The other 3 years, he was 6-10, 7-9, and 5-8-1 as a starter. His career record is 45-32-1. Now, we can say a lot of things about LeBron James, but I'm going to keep you something in mind. LeBron James is a 4-time league MVP. LeBron James is a 2-time NBA champion. LeBron James has been to 5 consecutive NBA Finals appearances. What do you mean, how come he can't be the Cam Newton? What? I mean, with all due respect, I'm quite sure that he was joking. And I personally am rooting for Cam unapologetically. I want this brother to close the deal. I want him to win a Super Bowl championship. I want him to be celebrated as one of the great quarterbacks in history from this perspective. One in high school, won a national championship as a junior college player, won a national championship at Auburn, won the Heisman Trophy, won the Rookie of the Year, and now to win the Super Bowl, if he were to pull this off, that is absolutely phenomenal. Nothing short of sensational. But when you are looking at greatness to the level of LeBron James, even while joking, there's a certain level of respect and decorum you must make sure that you exercise and verbalize. You cannot, under any circumstance, why can't he be the Cam Newton? Why would he want to be? You know, I mean, wait a minute now, because if this were LeBron, we'd be like, all right, you had a good season. Could you go win the Super Bowl? And then even after that, we'd say, all right, you had a good season. LeBron may have lost 4 NBA Finals. I really say 2 because he had no shot last year with Love and Kyrie out. And the first time against the Spurs back in 2007, he had no chance whatsoever. But he legitimately lost 2. Shouldn't have lost to Dallas, okay? And that beat down to the Spurs, you know, that was just a beat. They just lost. But I just look at it from the standpoint that that's really all we can say about LeBron. Everything else, who wouldn't want to be him? So I'm going to assume Cam Newton was joking because he's got that ebullient smile and it's really good and nice and all of that stuff, and that's great. But just in case he wasn't, I would caution him to pump the brakes just a little bit. LeBron James is on another level, and last time I checked, Cam is trying to get there. He ain't there yet. Sunday, he's got to win.
Well said.
Respect your elders.
I appreciate the perspective that you framed your answer with because, again, taking it one more level, I remind everyone, go back and look at Cam's stats in 5 of this year's first 7 games. They weren't great. They were winning, but Cam wasn't the reason they were winning. The defense was more the reason early this year. Then something clicked inside Cam, and I'm looking forward to talking to his father and to his quarterback guru, George Whitfield. What clicked? Something clicked to the point we saw a breakthrough by Cam Newton to superstar status, unlike any breakthrough I think I've ever witnessed sort of from midseason on to this point. He is the overwhelming favorite to win Super Bowl MVP, and obviously his team is a rising favorite to beat the Denver Broncos. Now, back to the original statement. I, for one, this is just my take, I don't think he was kidding. I know he said it with a smile and a little bit of a chuckle. I think that is vintage Cam Newton. That's the guy we saw at Auburn who's finally risen to the point that he believes he can back that up. Now, does Stephen A. Smith think pump brakes here, big fella, because you might be a little too full of yourself too quickly?
No.
Okay.
I'm just saying that I don't care if you're full of yourself or not. As far as I'm concerned, he could blow up to the Pillsbury's Doughboy. They still don't make him LeBron James.
Okay, I got you.
That's all I'm trying to say.
That's why
all right.
When I heard that remark, I got to tell you, I sat back and I said, wow, just wow. That was all-time audacious on the part of this young man. That was all-time gutsy because he flipped the question and invoked the name of LeBron James. I think the most popular athlete in America today. Is that debatable? I know it's close. I think it's LeBron James.
It is LeBron James,
Okay.
but Steph Curry's coming.
Yeah, he's
coming, but it's still LeBron, and it's been LeBron for, I don't know, a decade or so, and you you read off all the stats. 5 straight NBA Finals. So no wonder LeBron, when he was asked the question yesterday, was like, what?
Yeah.
He's talking about me like I'm supposed to be the Cam of that. Seriously? Because that's a seriously question. Here's my takeaway. No quarterback since Joe Namath 47 Super Bowls ago has created more pressure on himself than Cam Newton. He's welcomed more pressure. Joe Namath, remember, was the prohibitive underdog. I know this is way before most of your times here, but Joe Namath was an 18-point underdog to the Baltimore Colts in Super Bowl III, and somebody asked him a question at a function he was at. Somebody was sort of trash-talking him, catcalling him, and he said, oh, no, we're actually going to win, and I guarantee we're going to win this game, and he backed it up, obviously. No one since then. I don't know another quarterback who has heaped pressure on himself by everything that he has said the way Cam has, and I have zero problem with it because I believe this young man will back it up on Sunday. To me, that's all that matters here. And if you will, this is Ali-esque to me. And I told you yesterday, Muhammad Ali was my favorite athlete through my childhood, through my high school days, back in the 60s, when he had the guts to step up and be so audacious that he bragged and he backed it up. He bragged the way no athlete had ever really bragged. And again, this was a black man doing it in the 60s, and it was highly controversial. But if I can, I'm going to go back one more generation before Ali. Do you remember Dizzy Dean, the baseball pitcher? This is way before your time. But Dizzy Dean was the guy who said, it ain't bragging if you can do it. And it was during a year that he was the MVP of baseball and won Game 7. It was
1934,
yes,
something like
1934, the Gas House Gang, and they won the World Series, St. Louis Cardinals over the Detroit Tigers.
Yeah, my daddy told me about that.
Okay, there you go. And yeah, see, that was outrageous. That was the first nationally known athlete who became famous and infamous for incredible pregame trash talk, and he backed it up. Well, listen, Cam Newton is breaking through in so many ways, on and off the field right now. This is something. He invoked the name of LeBron James because that's how confident this young man is saying, I am, that I can close this deal on Sunday, and we all believe he can. Well, I'm fine with it. Now, again, you gotta go do it, but I think he's capable of doing this.
Here's the thing that I want you to understand. All of those things that you say are very valid and accurate. But you know something? There was an athlete in the NBA that was shining brightly before Cam Newton came on the scene. His name was Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant won 3 consecutive championships. And yes, he had Shaq, but what I would remind folks is that even though he had Shaq, Shaq had him too. Shaq had Penny Hardaway in Orlando. He never won a title. Shaq had Eddie Jones and those boys when he arrived in L.A. He didn't win a title. It wasn't until Kobe came on the scene and elevated his game to another level. And Phil Jackson arrived at the time that he finally won those rings. 3 back to back to back. And then after that, obviously, he departed from L.A. ultimately. Kobe Bryant got Pau Gasol in the heist, okay? And what happened, okay? Ended up getting Pau Gasol, Andrew Bynum. Derek Fisher comes back, you win. You go to 3 straight NBA Finals, you win 2 more. That's Kobe. Nobody ever had a problem with the Black Mamba until it was speculation that he put himself in the same breath as Michael Jordan. And then everybody said, whoa, wait a minute now. What are you doing? Now, we look back in retrospect and we say the closest to Jordan that we've ever seen is Kobe.
Sure.
Okay? But there was a time where people will averse to that because they're like, wait a minute, you got to pump your brakes. What's the matter with you? I'm talking about Michael Jordan here. Okay? So what I'm saying to you is that obviously it's not about LeBron and Jordan, but when you're Cam, LeBron should be Jordan to you. There are certain things that you just don't touch. So again, I get your point, the audacity, the audaciousness.
Yeah.
No problem on its face. It's just the fact that you mentioned LeBron in a manner that said, you know, why can't he be me? What? Something wrong with you?
I know.
That's what I'm saying.
Is that
all I'm saying? So again, I'm gonna assume differently than you. Cam is a highly intelligent young man. That boy ain't stupid. He's playing. He better be playing.
Okay.
He better be playing.
We'll ask his dad.
Because
he better be playing on Sunday.
What I'm saying, he better be playing.
Yes, back that up.
That's right. Because guess what? If you gonna mention LeBron, I got news for Cam. 1 Super Bowl don't cut it. I'm just saying.
No, I'm with you.
All right.
I agree.
So long as we know.
Now.
So long as we know.
Okay.
LeBron won his first MVP award in his 6th season. Cam has a chance to do it in his 5th if he wins on Saturday.
Pretty great.
Monday on SportsCenter, Stephen A., you were on set when our Steve Young was asked about Peyton Manning's skill set right now. Yeah,
why you got to sound like that? What's the problem?
He always watches the 6 o'clock appointment.
Because you're on
viewing.
every show on ESPN. I can't turn it on without seeing you.
Listen, I come where I'm asked to come. I know y'all think I don't want days off, but I actually do.
Okay.
I don't mind days off.
Let me finish this here. All right, so Steve Young was asked about Peyton Manning.